The Negro Justice League.
Hi, welcome to the Negro Justice League, a Black Nerd Podcast, episode 77. I'm your host, Cherry.
It's your boy, Jay.
And we have two guests with us today. We have Chesterfield. Chesterfield, say what's up.
Evening, everybody.
We've definitely heard from him a few times, so y'all remember him from some past episodes. We have Uzo, a.k.a. Ulongtea from Ulongtea Gaming. Uzo, say what's up.
How you doing?
All right, so they're here and they're going to discuss some gaming things with you because we've definitely had people asking for us to cover more game topics and events. So we'll be covering that this episode. But first, we're going to hop into our news. I think on the last episode, I told you guys about the Captain Marvel trailer dropping. Well, now we have the Avengers 4 trailer dropping. That dropped, and it's called Avengers Endgame. And this trailer is powerful. Like, it's not just I wouldn't say it's not just a regular trailer. If you've been following the MCU the entire time it's existed, especially after seeing the last Avengers movie, this to me was not difficult to watch, but it was definitely an emotional trailer. So if you're into trailers and you don't mind, I don't think it spoils anything, but it's good. It's a really good trailer. I would definitely go out of my way to check that out. Also, Kevin Hart, we didn't even get a chance to announce this because it happened so quickly. He was picked up by the Academy Awards to host the 2019 Academy Awards. So we were all excited, you know, black man, black host, whatever. And 2 days later, he ended up quitting because they called him about some problematic anti-LGBTQ tweets he had from 2011 on his Twitter account. And they said, you know, there was a little bit of outcry from the LGBTQ community, and the Academy asked him to apologize so that they can move forward. He decided not to apologize, his reasoning being that he had already addressed these comments before, and so they decided to no longer work with him. So he got kicked off the Academy Awards. And then right after that happened, he issued an apology. So I'm not sure what the rationale behind any of that is. Moving on, y'all know I've been following MoviePass for over a year now. And I think I did tell you guys that I canceled my MoviePass because there was too many ups and downs with pricing, availability. Availability is really what got me. Like, if I'm paying every month for movie tickets, I want to be able to see a movie. And so a lot of people apparently canceled, and they were on the verge of bankruptcy, and everybody thought MoviePass was going down the drain, but they've just come back with a tiered pricing scheme, which is what I suggested several months ago. There's 3 levels. This is what they should have done in the first place. There's 3 levels. The first level just lets you see like 3 movies, period. The second lets you see, I think 3 movies whenever you want. They can be IMAX and whatnot. And then the third level is something more than that. I don't know. And they start around $10 and like $15 and $20 or something like that. And they do a different pricing schema based on where you live in the country, which makes sense because movies are more expensive in major cities than they are out in the middle of nowhere. So your movie pass will be expensive. Basically, they're trying to recoup their costs. So we'll keep an eye on that. If it starts to look good, we may come back to it. And Jay, you want to go ahead with your news?
Yeah, so for those of us who are Bethesda fans with the Fallout series, obviously know about Bethesda's newest game, Fallout 76, which is their multiplayer attempt. And it has been one negative thing after the other. First thing, even though I haven't played it, the game's trash. How do I know the game's trash? Because every single person on Earth who's played it has said the game is trash. But to make matters worse, for those who pre-ordered, they were supposed to get these really nice canvas bags with one of the special edition orders. Come to find out, Bethesda, instead of giving out the canvas bags, started giving out these really cheap nylon bags. When people started complaining about it, there was one thing going around the internet, like Reddit and Twitter, where the guy was like, hey, I got a nylon bag instead of a canvas bag. And the guy's answer was basically, yeah, we know it wasn't going to be worth the price to give you canvas. We're not changing it. Obviously not the right answer to give. That turned into a huge big thing to where when Bethesda was then saying, oh, we're sorry, we couldn't afford the canvas bag, so we'll give you guys 500 fake dollars in our horrible fake game to use, which wasn't a good answer.
Man, they about to get sued.
which was when they decided, when they realized, yes, you could be sued for this, and yes, you could obviously be losing a lot more than these canvas bags. They decided to give out to anybody who gave a receipt. Come to find out, it somehow their system was doxed or whatever, and every person who was putting in one of these tickets, their information, their names, card
Yeah.
information possibly was just sent to random people. So that's what's happening with 76 now. So if you enjoy the game, please let us know because you're probably the only person on Earth who even remotely has anything good to say about it right now.
Yeah, and if you're playing the game, make sure you keep an eye on your bank statements because you may have just gotten got.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of a canvas bag, you just bought a Gucci one. So congratulations.
Somebody else got the bag.
Speaking about getting got, Matthew Murdock, Charlie Cox himself, finally speaking out about the Daredevil cancellation, and basically Matthew said, "Man, if he could cry blind tears, I think Charlie Cox would have." He's basically saying this is something that kind of came out of nowhere to him. He spent 4.5, 5 years really enjoying this role, loving to play it, thought he would be playing it for years to come. So for this to kind of happen out of nowhere for him is really sad, and especially for a lot of the people who are working on the movie, the other actors, actresses behind the scenes. They give that answer, the cliche of, it's just a business, but he seems really sad about it. And Cherry was talking earlier how Vincent D'Onofrio was basically kingpinning it on Twitter saying, we want justice, get me Spider-Man, find out what happened. So I don't know. No one seems to know what happens, which is really weird, which lets me know somebody knows exactly what happened.
Yeah.
If more information comes, we'll give it to you. But for right now, Daredevil is definitely dead in the water. Lastly, on some good news, though, Black Panther, which somehow just came out this year, it feels like it's already been 2 years to me, is the first superhero movie to win a Golden Globe nomination for Best Drama, which is really surprising because it is a superhero movie, but for it to be nominated for Best Drama, although I'm pretty sure it's not going to win, it's a step forward. And the fact that it's the one superhero movie with the all-black amazing cast is just extra. Yeah, it's just extra kudos for that. So we'll keep more on that. They've been nominated for a lot of other things, obviously costume design, soundtrack, but for them to actually get like a Best Picture or Best Drama nomination, that's really big. Back to you, Chair.
And not just, you said a black cast, which is accurate, but it's not just a black cast, it's a super black story. Like it's through and through, all around, straight from
Blackity,
Africa.
black.
Black.
Yeah.
It's not, we do use that term here for things that are wholly black, not wholly with a W, not an H.
Yeah. Organic black, non-GMO black.
Yeah. Because we talk about stories that have black people in them but are generic. Then there are other stories that are black through and through, and we use the term blackity black here, and it is, and that's a beautiful thing. Because I remember, I think I voiced some concerns about non-black people's ability to relate to this story. Because we relate so thoroughly, but I don't have the perspective of somebody outside the culture, so I didn't know. And apparently they're getting it too, so that's amazing. All right, so we're gonna do something new today, something we've never done. Me and Jay are gonna hand over the reins a bit to Chesterfield and Uzo and let them discuss gaming because they are our in-house gamers and they have some things they want to talk about. so Chesterfield, you can go ahead and take it from here. Or Uzo, I don't know, y'all knock it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead. Like we all know, the Negro Justice League is on Twitch under the name of Black Nerd Cast. We do have our schedules that come out on Mondays, so we stream Tuesday through Friday. I'm usually featured on the Twitch channel on Fridays where we have the Freaky Fridays. So if you guys would like to see me get scared, like everybody likes to come out and just see me act a fool.
Scream.
Oh, so Freaky Friday in terms of scary, not in terms of... Okay.
Yeah.
So
you gotta come to the Discord if you're talking about that type of Freaky Friday.
Yeah, so Freaky Friday is, yeah, our Freaky Friday is, just playing, some of the random scary games that we have going on. I mostly take charge of that, and we do have our surprise streams that we usually do on weekends when anybody is available. And you can just go ahead and follow us on the Black Nerdcast on Twitch. Also, I know moving on along, a lot of us who watch Twitch have some of our favorite streamers that we like to watch. I guess we can go around the room and kind of see who everybody enjoys watching besides the Black Nerdcast.
Ooh, that's a tough question. You know someone we watching Twitch outside of ourselves.
Oh man, that's what's wrong with this question.
I got one. I'm gonna go with Tanya. Let me answer first so nobody takes her. Tanya DePaz from I Need Diverse Games. She was on the show. I like her because she's mature. She's an adult, so when she streams, it's a mature stream from a black woman, and I enjoy it. So y'all can go now. They'll take that one.
Yes, Phil.
Oh man, see, I thought we was doing in-house Twitchers. I didn't know we was doing.
Well, okay. So
Hit
how
you
about
with a
this?
curve.
We do in-house, and then we'll do in-house, and then we'll do.
Then we'll do Outhouse. So
Outhouse, yeah.
there, you got to go again with your favorite in-house Twitcher.
We ain't doing that yet. Y'all do Outhouse first.
Oh,
Do the Outhouse.
Do we have to call it Outhouse?
Yes.
The people we're about to give props to, we're gonna call it the Outhouse streamers. No one else sees any problems with
That
that.
sounds like a disease. No, I got that Outhouse streaming, bro. I had burrito yesterday.
I don't know what we want to call them. We'll come up with something.
Dude,
We'll
worry
come up
about
with
that
something.
later, man.
All right, so
You're gonna edit that out?
Nope.
Non-NJL streamers, I enjoy listening to or following. You know who I am following? Cup of Noodle. She plays a whole bunch of different games.
Yeah, we host
Right
her.
now, I think. What was that?
We host her. And
Yeah.
Tanya.
Yeah, we've hosted her. We've hosted Tanya. There's one up and coming streamer. She's quasi up and coming, I guess. Miss Do It Big. She does a lot of Fortnite. She tries to get like in the tournaments and stuff like that. She's pretty cool. X Mirror Mirror. She was on the show. She does a whole lot of fun stuff. Lots of Sims. Lots of Red Dead Redemption right now. And let me see, who else do I follow? Black Girl Gamers, they're good. The Cookout, they've got a great variety of streamers over there. Make sure you, yes.
Is every streamer you follow a woman?
No.
That delay was nuts.
Pause though.
I'm looking at my list. I follow Ulongtea Gaming. I follow him.
I appreciate it.
And Swiss Stream. He's a dude. Nintendo. I follow some people.
So all the NJL streamers are the males that you watch.
Males that
so
you know
basically,
personally.
You know what? Let me, since you brought that up, let me go ahead and talk about that. I think a lot of the women of color, especially the streamers, they don't get the shine for what they do, and they are amazing gamers. So if my one little stream, my little view, or my little push, get them a little shine, then you know what? I'll do it.
That was an amazing finesse. That was a really good way of finessing the fact that all you do is watch women gamers. That was clap that. Yeah,
Clap
seriously.
that.
Yeah, clap that. I'm not gonna clap it in real life,
I'm a dude.
God, what are we doing?
I'm a dude. I game. I watch the dudes on the stream game. That's enough. That's enough for me.
Right.
We wait. Yeah.
My favorite streamer to watch outside of the NJL streamers is Black Crystal. I think Delano or Chi-Chi introduced them to us. We did a raid on them one time, but I just like her streams because she plays a different amount of games every now and then. She does a lot of Overwatch, which is a game I never got a chance to play. So the fact that she still plays it when that's kind of like over for a lot of people is dope for me. But, she just seems to have a nice, decent following, although there's a lot of weebos in there. So that's kind of, for those who don't know who weebos are, those are the people who love Japanese culture, but they're American. Yes, but no. I had to have this.
You gave me that word.
Yeah, weebos.
Put it in a pocket.
She's about to use that all the time now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Wii grows.
The
Oh,
yeah, put that on a shirt.
oh
I
man.
might.
That's
Please,
what I said.
please don't.
Yeah, so those were my streamers. So
Uzo?
Well,
All
for
right, so
me, non Black Nerdcast streamers, a couple that I watch, Tatted Poodle. She's a streamer on Twitch. She mostly plays, think some of those games like Fortnite, and then also what's that other game? Um, can't remember the name, but she plays a variety of games. Also, when I first started um, getting on Twitch, or just watching before I started, streaming myself, I would follow Co Carnage. He's kind of one of the big guys. He plays a lot of games from, you know, action adventure to, scary, a whole slew of genre games he plays. And then also Mr. Happy, because he plays a lot of Final Fantasy, and I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy, so I like kind of watching his stuff. All right, moving on. Uh, our best or worst moments on Twitch. Anybody?
I have a worse moment, but like I don't want to bring it up because it was that bad.
I think you have to, considering it was that
I mean,
bad.
at this point, you're gonna have to.
Are you sure about that, Delano? Is that what you want?
It's
I
a
mean,
disclaimer
I'm
on
I'm
title.
pretty I'm
You know
pretty
it
sure I
is.
know what I'm pretty sure I know what this. Oh.
I would say
You ain't shit.
I'll say a PC version of what happened. I was streaming with med school and we were playing Overcooked 2.
Oh,
And part of my charm as a streamer is that I'm not particularly good at any given game.
That's the charm. Okay.
And so we were trying to beat a high score. Oh wait, yeah, this is my worst moment, and then I got the best one. And long story short, I was messing up. We were so close to beating a high score, and I accidentally threw the food that we were cooking in the trash. And so best school Chi got so upset by this that we had to end the stream. And so it was my worst moment because I felt really bad that she felt like she had to walk away from the stream, and it was an accident.
Yeah, that was a hard one. That was definitely my worst, and I didn't,
That
do
was a
it.
personal low for me. I felt bad for days. Are we all doing worse, or should I get my best?
You should give your best.
Go ahead and give
Let me
your
line
best.
it up. My favorite moment of all moments, Uzo, is when also involving Overcooked 2 and that exact same level that we were playing. While that was going on, before we ended the stream, Mike is fired got on and said, "Oh, I can beat this level and do better than y'all." And we said, "Oh, word?" And he said, "Yeah, I can get 3 stars on this level." We said, "Oh," and we said, "Oh, word?" He said, "Yeah, I can do it in an hour." We said, "Oh, word?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, cool." So it's a bet, and if you can't do it, you're gonna have to basically sing a song. And he said, "All right, but I'm gonna have Uzo help me." So him and Uzo got on, lost the bet. And what they had to do at the end of the stream was sing, what's the name of that song? I know how it go. What's the name of it? Freaking You by Jodeci. If you ever heard that song, please get on your Spotify and do your Googles or whatever you got to do to listen to Freaking You and think about Mike and Uzo singing that song because it was so freaking bad, but it was excellent.
Why don't you give us a little taste right now, just so we could have a.
Nah, we ain't got time
I
for
want to
that.
hear
Nah,
that.
ain't no-
Yeah,
this
I
ain't the
listened to
street
it
for
about
that.
20 times at work the next day.
the
Oh.
funny thing about that though, on that day, like I don't know how my name got put into this
Mike.
bet. First of all,
Yeah, Mike just dragged you in there.
that same day I got my teeth pulled.
Yes.
I was on
That's right.
heavy medication.
He was heavily medicated and in pain with no
He's a
teeth.
trooper.
And he was in the singing background for Mike because Mike dragged him into a bet.
Mike even threw him into the bus a little bit. He's like, "All right, well, on your turn now." And it was like the last 20 seconds of the song.
It was so bad. And then Uzo, I don't know what type of mic he had, but it sounded like he was singing from the next room.
Yeah, remember that. Oh,
Shoot.
Close my eyes.
Somebody said it sounded like he's singing through a can with a string in it.
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure we have that clip still on our
Oh, we
Black
definitely
Nerdcast.
have
Oh
that
yeah,
clip.
Oh, it is there. That clip
it's
is
Yeah.
on the
pretty much
social
there.
internet webs everywhere.
If you want to go see that clip, head over to the Black Nerdcast to go get some laughs in.
Plenty laughs to be had on that one. I'll go next. My worst moment, I think, would be when I was going through so yeah, real quick, I was playing through Crash Bandicoot, the first one, and I was trying to beat this stage, and I kept dying at like give or take the same exact spot, or I would go a little bit further and then die like it was rough. That was a low time.
I don't think that was as bad for you as the first time you played Center. I never heard you get genuinely upset ever in life until that game.
Sinner, yeah, Sinner brought out a very, very angry side of me. Just, it didn't make no sense. It made no sense. But yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and move this along. We'll have to catch the rest of you guys' stuff in the Discord to find out, the rest of the stuff that you guys like. All right. So on Thursday, the Thursday right before this podcast was the fourth or fifth, I think it was the fifth annual The Game Awards. Pretty much this is the Emmys or the Oscars for video games. I guess with the gaming community trying to, tell people, hey, this isn't a kids thing anymore. Adults are really playing this. They're trying to really take things, seriously and have people really, take them into consideration. So I'm just going to start off first. Oolong, what was your biggest award shock for the night?
My biggest award shock was when a game called, what was the game? Dead Cell beat Call of Duty Black Ops for best action game. I never played Dead Cell, never heard of Dead Cell, and all of a sudden, I would have thought that Black Ops would have took that, dead on, but yeah, some game Dead Cell won.
You know what? Funny. My reaction for that was, which game is this? With a bunch of question marks.
That was me through half the show, but yeah.
I was like, what is this? But yeah. My biggest shock would be God of War winning Game of the Year, even though it lost everything else to Red Dead Redemption 2. Like every category, Red Dead Redemption, God of War, and Spider-Man was in. Red Dead was just picking it up. They got it for like best voice actor, best, like just everything. So I'm thinking, okay, it's their show to win. And all of a sudden, that Game of the Year, God of War, I'm like, wait! I was very excited. Very, very excited.
I actually thought that Red Dead, like how it was going like last night, seeing Red Dead winning all these categories, I actually thought they were going to get the Game of the Year as well. But when I woke up this morning and saw God of War one, I was like, oh, okay.
I actually feel like it was kind of unfair for Red Dead Redemption to even really get so much accolades because it just came out more or less. And there was just so many games. It's almost unfair when Rockstar comes out that year because no matter what, their games are loved and people have been waiting for them for so many years that they get to have this kind of extra shine to them. It's a great game. It definitely is awesome, but Spider-Man was amazing. God of War was amazing. There was a lot of amazing games that came out in 2018, and for Red Dead to come out and kind of do what it does because it's a Rockstar and it's Red Dead and everybody's been waiting for 8 years, it kind of you expected it, but it sucked at the same time for me anyway.
Jay, do you think maybe there should be like a cutoff for when games are nominated? Because Red Dead Redemption per this came out in October, and the award show just happened. God of War came out March of this year, and I think Spider-Man was
around June-ish, I want to say. July?
Was it
September?
I think it was September.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Well, then one of those,
I think there should be a cutoff, just like with the Oscars or anything. There should be a cutoff because God of War has had almost a year of being on people's minds and people playing it, Red Dead is fresh for people. Like there's still people who just by the size of it aren't even done with it yet. So it's still the hype beast of the year for a lot of people. So it makes it really hard when people just have what it's done on its mind and compare that to God of War, which was a shorter game, but still a masterpiece in itself, which is great that they won Game of the Year, but I think they could have gotten a little bit more.
Agreed. Jerry, you got what you got? What's your award shock?
It wasn't an award. I don't really care about the awards. The best.
Wait, no, save that one. Save that.
Oh, I don't care
Go
about
ahead.
the
Yes,
awards.
you can lead. Okay, you can lead into the next
Oh
one.
wait,
Go
I do
for
have an awards issue. It wasn't a shock. I have an annoyance, a grievance.
Okay.
For best performance, they nominated the white dude that played Connor in Detroit instead of Jesse Williams. And I feel like having played that entire game myself, Jesse Williams definitely put on a better performance than whoever that dude was. I mean, the whole game lost anyway, but I would have preferred to see at least the main character nominated, as well as the actual actor and the one who did the best job in the game nominated, but we didn't get that.
You know why?
I know why. He doing a little too much. He's running around being blackety black.
Okay, Jerry. Well, let's go ahead and lead into the next one. What was your biggest announcement shock for the evening? I know what your answer is, but go ahead and tell us.
I know too.
Oh yeah. Ulongtea definitely knows because he witnessed my reaction, which was nuts. I'll preface this by saying even though I act like I don't play games, I grew up playing maybe about 4 or 5 games constantly. And one of those games was Crash Team Racing. I have been asking since the mid 2000s for somebody to reboot Crash Team Racing so I could play it. And I still have my PlayStation 2 just so I can play that game. But I don't have online multiplayer, so I don't have anybody to play with, so I don't play that much. Anyway, when Crash came out and pulled that big gold trophy out of that box, I was shook. I started hollering. I don't even remember what happened in the little on preview because I was too busy screaming, and I'm just beside myself that game comes out June 21st, 2019. I will be the first in line, and I will murder all of you in that game. That's it.
What happens if that game is trash? What happens if they do something?
Trash, Jay.
It won't be.
Trash.
It'll just be all they're doing is cleaning
They're
up.
even giving you the same levels. Like if you look at the tracks, they're the same, and the power ups are the same. The characters are the same. It's the same game.
So it's a remaster.
Yes, a very glossy remaster, very similar.
Like how they did the other one.
Yep, just like how they did Crash, and just like how they did the Spyro series that just came out that I'm currently playing.
Exactly what I want.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, there's very little room for them to mess this up. All you're doing is giving it a fresh coat of paint.
It's just a racing game. I mean, ain't too much you need to do to it. You're riding around little carts. It's not that.
That's true. Jay, what was your big announcement shock for the evening?
My big announcement shock was Psychonauts 2. That is a game that's kind of been almost like Half-Life 3. People always talk about it coming out, but it was it's never really going to happen. It's just a pipe dream that all of the fans. And Psychonauts 2 was an amazing surprise to me. I did not expect that at all. And what I loved about it is kind of similar to how you guys feel about, I guess, Crash, is the visual is very much like the first Psychonauts, just updated. Clearly with that 2018 PS4 Pro, Xbox One love, that allows it to do more, but the characters very much looked very similar. When they showed the trailer, I actually for a moment thought they were showing remastered images from the first one before I realized, no, this is coming from the actual new gaming stuff. So that was really a huge thing for me. I love that series. The game that I'm most excited for outside of Mortal Kombat 11 is Outer Planets, which is, the Outer World, which is coming from the original Fallout creators and the ones who did the last Fallout that I loved, which was New Vegas. And it basically looks like Fallout and Mass Effect with a little bit of Borderlands, and that's perfect for me.
Okay. Oolong, what about you?
I think one of the biggest announcement shocks that I saw yesterday was, and Cherry can attest to this because I was happy for it, but when I found out it was on the Switch, I was like, ah, damn. But I don't own a Switch. And it was the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a big fan of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. I loved play. I think when they were on, it was PS3 that when they came out, or was that PS2?
PS2.
PS2
was
or
the
PS3? No, I think the what was it? X-Men Legends was the PS2, and then they had the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which was the PS3. Yeah. So once I saw that, I was like, well, this looks like a very good game, and I may end up getting a Switch just to play it because I'm big.
Are you?
Hey, if I can find a Switch on sale or something, I'll get it and play it. There's a couple games on Switch that I want to play, but the Marvel Ultimate Alliance is one that I really want to play.
Do you think this is Nintendo's way of trying to show the Switch can get exclusives and not just be Mario, Zelda, or Smash?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I felt.
Because you have to basically be a Nintendo stan to even want to get one because it's all very Nintendo. Like there's nothing but what they've always given you.
I think this time around, like they're really putting a lot into third-party games on their console instead of all first-party. You know, the usual suspects that we always see. So I think it's a good thing that they're doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's really, I don't know. For a Switch to be $300 even during Black Friday, when I could get a PS4 with a terabyte and a game and extra controllers for like $200, they need to have those third-party exclusives for next year because otherwise I just see it being a drain of money. And I know Nintendo is like, we don't do it for that, but it's still a business and you can really only ride it for so long. And, you know, if you want to get some of those extra market shares, you're going to have to dive in a little bit.
Have y'all played a Switch? I don't like how it feels. Like these two little sticks just floating in the air. I don't like it. And then if you put the screen in between, it's like you got this, like you're playing with an iPad in your hand. Like there's no controller. And
I've touched it and I washed my hands immediately afterwards because I didn't want anything that dirty on me.
I played the Switch. I've actually used their, I believe you can use, the Pro controller that they have or something like that. I played with that, so, I mean, it was fine. Seemed all right. But I've only played a Switch at Walmart, so.
Yeah, we currently have one in our possession, particular for Zelda, and no complaint. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what Nintendo is going to do regarding.
I would rather get a Soldier Boy console than get a Switch.
I forgot to announce that. Man, somebody explain that.
I don't know about that.
Soldier Boy came out with his own console. And he said he's already made it's only been like 2 days, and he's made $250,000 selling the Soldier Boy console.
It's a Soldier Boy console, a Soldier Boy handheld, Soldier Boy watch, smartwatch, Soldier Boy earbuds, Soldier Boy. There's a whole lineup of stuff,
and including his own gaming console.
What games does this console play?
Apparently, the system is tied to an emulator, and it plays like over 300 ridiculous games. But on the advertisement, it says it plays everything. So it says you can play Switch, you can play PS4, and it's like, bruh, it looks like a really fancy Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Oh my God. All right, we'll come back to that. We'll talk about that next time.
We're going to investigate a little further.
My biggest announcement shock would have been Crash Team Racing had I not seen the leaks the day before.
Yeah, I did know it was coming. I would have passed out.
If I didn't know, I would have been legit shocked. For me, my biggest announcement shock, no pun intended, would be Mortal Kombat 11. Definitely did not see that coming because no one had really been talking about it for a while. So to have Ed Boon up there, doing the racing announcement, and then to see that trailer and see how well it's looking, and that it's coming out. You can see everybody's
faces, like their facial features and stuff that you never got on that game before. Well, maybe a little, but not like this.
Not like this. And then for it to be coming out for this generation of consoles in April, that means And for no one to have dropped that news, they were doing some work. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Let's see, what else did we get? Quick question. All those esports players that was winning those awards, did y'all recognize any of them outside of maybe like Ninja and Sonic Fox?
I know you're not talking to me.
I just heard about Ninja last week.
Stop.
So, no.
Really?
Yeah, I have
the whole thing with Drake and
Yeah, I don't really watch these pro guys. I mean, I have somebody at work who says he watches him because he's a Fortnite player or something like that. But that's like the first time I ever heard of Ninja.
Oh man, Jay, what about you?
I mean, Ninja, Sonic Blue, Car. I watched them, but only because I really want to give electronic professional gaming like a chance as a gamer. But there's a reason why we have some stereotypes that still stay with us, and a lot of those professional players still have those negative stereotypes. But I didn't recognize most of the people. Maybe that's just because I'm not watching the right things or whatnot. But I'm glad that they got the time to shine. Because if you're going to have a gaming award thing, it needs to be able to touch base with that part of gaming, which is the players.
I agree.
Agreed. Also, shout out to Sonic Fox for winning and for letting everyone know that he is black, that he is queer, and that he is indeed a furry. I salute him for I'm just saluting him because he got up there and was just like, yeah, this is who I am. And he is, from what I hear, the best at pretty much any fighting game that he picks up. So
yeah, he's legend. He's definitely legend. And I mean, I think we all knew he was a part of that furry life, but I'm glad he's able to be in his truth like that. So, go on, King.
How did that become relevant?
Him being...
Yeah.
He said that he was a furry. Like
he just felt the need to say that?
Yeah, he said that he's in his speech. He said he is black, he is queer, and he's a furry.
He checked them all off.
And he said the 3 things everybody loves to hate.
Yep. You're going to have to go back and watch that, Jay.
No. I don't have nothing against furries. I'm just like, I don't know why you feel the need to announce that. I mean, I wouldn't accept the award and be like, here are my sexual preferences. You know, like this.
But you might represent for your blackness if you accepted an award if you thought that it was being ostracized.
Yeah, but no, I'm going to walk up there and you're going to know I'm black. Everything I do, I can't walk in the room and you not see
kind of notice that he's a furry, so.
Who noticed that? How?
He has on a full
That's what
suit.
I'm asking. Like, how did this become relevant? If he had the outfit on, then I get it. But if I'm thinking he got on like jeans and a t-shirt, he's like, hey, y'all. I'm into this.
Oh, yeah, no. He usually has on, and when he plays, like when he competes, he usually has like a hat or shoulders.
I was missing that. Got it now.
All right, moving on. Anybody else tired of Fortnite? I mean, yay, season 7, but I'm tired. I'm tired.
The only thing about Fortnite that I'm still interested in is 2 Milli has officially sued them over his 2 Milli dance. And I want to see what happens with that. Because while dances are something that are hard to copyright, I feel like he has a strong argument that you guys are clearly... He made that dance. Everyone knows it's his dance. And you all are clearly making some level of funds because of it. And you're not even crediting me. It's called the Fortnite dance. And it's not yours. And I don't know if he should be getting millions upon millions in royalties, but he should be getting something. And companies like this need to understand you just can't continuously take from our culture and not get some feedback off it.
It's not just that they're taking a dance and characters are doing a dance. It's that they're taking, it's like they're like motion capturing the videos. It is, you can lay the videos next to each other for each dance. Like the Carlton is exactly the way it was done on the show. There's another dance from Scrubs that's done exactly the way Donald Faison did it, that he made up himself. And so the fact that they're taking the movements motion by motion, like verbatim, that's the dance plagiarism. Like you can't do that.
Gotta check for somebody. Somebody needs to check. All right.
That and the other thing I want to say is the only thing worse than Fortnite are Fortnite players. Moving on.
Ooh.
Ooh, damn.
Man,
Ooh.
Ooh.
it's some rough ones out there, and they're mostly children. And Lord have mercy, if y'all ever get into some Fortnite parties, you will hear some nonsense.
Yeah, man. Oolong, what are your thoughts on gaming companies using this time to bring out new gaming announcements? Because, people have been starting to shy away from E3. People are making their own. Nintendo has their own little tree house.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's not coming to E3 next year. So what do you think about people using this as a platform for new game announcements?
I mean, I think it's a good thing. I don't think there's a problem with it. I guess some of those big conventions like E3, maybe there's a lot of developers or a lot of announcements that come out, and there's, I guess, too much to kind of grasp on. So some announcements get, overlooked. So things like this, people, I think some companies would like to spread out their announcements or bring their announcements to another platform other than E3 so they can get recognized. Because, everybody's going to come out and say, hey, come to E3 and be like, hey, here's my game. And there are maybe some of those smaller games that get overlooked. So one of the things I saw last night, a lot of the announcements were kind of indie-ish kind of games. So
Yep.
I know a lot of those don't get a lot of attention at big conventions like E3 or PAX or anything like that. So making announcements at the Video Game Awards, I mean, I think, there's a lot of audience on the Video Game Awards. So I think it was a good choice or a good idea to do that.
Indie games are doing so well visually right now that they are starting to become what I go to when I want to see something that has a little bit more heart. Obviously, AAAs are worried about their money and recouping and everything like that. But some of the games that they showed and the trailers they showed for some of them was really amazing for these indie games. Like, what was The Pathless, which kind of reminded me of... just forgot the name of it, but it kind of reminded me of this game that came out on PS2 about a Japanese fox dog, and it had the paintbrush. Thank you. There we go. So it reminds me a little bit of that and Eco, and it just looks beautiful and stunning and great.
Cherry, I used to work at GameStop around that time, so I had
I
to.
forgot that she used to work at GameStop.
So I had to do that often, where people would just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for that game with the da da da," and there we go. Yeah, that game with the girl and her eagle, it definitely looks really good. I am definitely interested in that. I would like to. I want to see that. That looks like
It has a
fun.
Samurai Jack feel to me, which is also something that's touching my Weibo soul. So
We gross.
Okay. Oh, your Uyghur soul. Your Uyghur spirituals. Cherry, do you have a huh?
What was the question? I got caught up in We Grow
Scratch
Spirituals.
that. What's scratch that? What's your game of the year? Like, if you got to choose, what would be your game of the year?
Overcooked 2.
Do I have to pick?
You know what? Shout out to them for winning Best Family Game, by the way.
And
I'm
it is
glad
They
Best
they
Family
did win
Game.
it.
I can actually play that with my child, who, I mean, his gaming skills have improved drastically recently. But even when he didn't know what he was doing, we could still play and have fun. And it's a good game for anybody with any skill level. That being said, are we talking about my game of the year, or like if I got to pick
Yes.
for everybody?
No, your personal game of the year.
My personal game of the
If
year
I get to pick for everybody,
because
y'all gonna like.
if I was voting for the award myself, I wouldn't pick the same thing as if I'm picking my own favorite game. You understand? It's two different answers for that.
I understand.
And that's what I'm just explaining to Jay because he's squinting at me like, my personal favorite best game of the year was Detroit. It's rare that I complete things, and I actually played this entire game from start to finish and thoroughly enjoyed it. If you know me, I'm more interested in game storylines than I am in actual gameplay, like fighting and shooting and running around doing stuff. Don't do nothing for me. I want to make decisions. And this game was like watching a movie, because people who don't even watch streams, like my dad watched me stream the whole game and he didn't even like video games. But it was so thoroughly done story wise that I truly enjoyed watching. I've really felt invested in it even when up until the end. That being said, the gameplay wasn't that good. So I wouldn't vote that for everybody. But that was for me.
Fair enough. Jay, game of the year.
I'm gonna go with something that probably no one's gonna understand, but Yakuza 6.
Told you he's a weak bro.
Uh, Not because it was the best game, but because after living in Japan, like when I played the first Yakuza games, that's just as somebody who's interested. But after living there and seeing Chesterfield talk about it as he was playing and kind of throw out things about, oh, that's Jay right over there. It kind of warmed a little place in my heart, and it's a really good game actually for the series. It's really, really good. So that's gonna be my personal favorite game of the year.
Okay.
Chesterfield, did you ever finish streaming that game? I feel like we just stopped in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, we just
Gave it on up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go back to it. I mean, because it's fun. I definitely want to finish that, so I'll probably get back on it. Oolong?
My game of the year, I would have to say it's Spider-Man.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised you picked that.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man, honestly, I have a lot of open world games, and that's one of the ones that I've actually completed and still playing to this day.
Every day.
So, like, I'm on Spider-Man like almost every day.
I gotta start that.
So yeah, I would say Spider-Man.
Okay. For me, I'll go with God of War. It was amazing. I don't care. I went and bought the most expensive edition that they had because I was
2 times
waiting. Almost. I almost bought the game twice. I almost did. Whew. But no, great game, great storyline. I didn't mind Kratos' voice being changed at the end. At first, I was a little disappointed, but it worked out in the end. So I'm happy for that.
What did you think about his little moment on the Game Awards?
I thought that was cute.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it 100%.
I loved his outfit and his hair. That's what I loved. That was an amazing outfit to see him in, but that was a really nice moment.
That was pretty dope.
Everybody's waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap this up with most anticipated game for next year. Cherry, you can go first. What are you looking forward to for next year?
Probably Fortnite Battle Pass. Crash Team Racing is dropping June 21st, 2019. Be there, be square. We will be streaming it that day. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know who I'm playing with, but I'll be playing it that day. All right, y'all.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Committed 6 months ahead of time.
Wow. Oolong, what about you?
Resident Evil 2.
That remake?
Yeah, okay. And I think that's dropping January 25th or 29th, one of those days.
We're trying to come up with some dates now, okay?
And yeah, so you guys will see me playing that on Freaky Friday.
Okay.
Every day.
Jay?
Outer Worlds. I know I said I love Psychonauts, but Outer Worlds, I love the Fallout series before the most recent renditions, and I'm a huge open world, kind of get to do whatever and explore, and I think that's going to be my main love. So Outer Worlds, that's going to be it for me.
You know what? That game reminded me of that game that you just said, and Borderlands. That's what I got when I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I know this game.
Can I say? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No? Okay. All right. And for my most anticipated game for next year, even because we know it is definitely coming out, is going to be Kingdom Hearts 3. It is coming out the end of January. There's a pop-up thing happening in Disney Springs in a couple weeks. I'm gonna see if I can slide on down there.
Without me,
I might do a live stream. I don't know. We'll see.
Without me.
We'll see.
One thing I wanted to note that I didn't get to note in the notes was particularly Far Cry 5 has 2 black women leads, which you never ever really get to see. Only time I really remember seeing a black woman lead a video game was when Michonne had her little 5-episode series with Telltale Games. I played that.
Rihanna did Assassin's Creed.
Who?
Not Rihanna, but so Assassin's Creed, the one that came out. Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Liberation came out for the PSP, and the protagonist is a Creole young lady, but she looks like
Oh, I
Rihanna.
thought it was like Assassin's
She
Creed
does.
Barbados. Like,
Oh no,
I mean, it was based in the West Indies, so it was
okay, so it was
close.
Rihanna. That being said, not just Far Cry 5, but a lot of games you see they're popping more black women even into the games. Not necessarily the leads, but you're seeing more. And I noticed that even just watching all the previews. So I'm really excited about that.
And they weren't just
Wow.
black women; they looked black. Their noses, their hairstyles, it was
These chicks
very
had
neat.
some busted cornrows. Like, it was legit. And not busted like y'all can't draw busted, but busted like we living in the apocalypse and this how my hair is now. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So my last note before we wrap this all up is where is it? I wish we had a little bit more diversity in the game dev studio heads world. It's going to take a while because we're talking. It's going to take a long time, but it would be nice to see those Facebook gamers where the people were like making the games from in the different third world countries. That was pretty dope to see. Hopefully they find their way into some of these bigger studio houses and, start changing the narrative, because I'm really tired of, not having characters that look like me. All right, Sherry, take it away.
Okay. As I always tell you guys, make sure you're following us on Twitch. We discussed our Twitch at length today. It is twitch.tv/BlackNerdCast. Black Nerd CAST. In addition to our game, we have a gaming schedule that's regular Tuesday through Friday. We do pop-up games when somebody feels like it. And we also have live streams that are random and sometimes planned, where one or two or a few of us will be in an event and we will basically live stream it to the Twitch. So, but you have to be subscribed to find that out. As always, subscribe to us in iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Podbean, Pocket Cast, whatever. Wherever podcasts are found, you can find us. Only place we're not yet is Pandora. Apparently started doing podcasts, so we're gonna do what we gotta do, sign some papers or whatever, get up on Pandora for y'all. But we are on pretty much every other. I can't think of an app that we aren't on. If you have a podcast app that you enjoy and we're not on it, shoot us an email, shoot us a inbox, DM, whatever, and we'll see what we can do. Follow us on Twitter at Black Nerd Cast, Black Nerd CAST, as in podcast. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Negro Justice League. Check out NegroJusticeLeague.com. That's where you get all your NJL paraphernalia. We do have sales periodically, so make sure you're on there. And rate and review us on any and every website where you can find us. Next episode, two biggies. Into the Spider-Verse, which I haven't seen yet, and I am beyond excited. I've seen several previews, especially the one at the end of whatever last movie I saw. What movie was that? Oh, Venom. At the end of Venom has me really, really hyped, and it's getting really great reviews. And then Aquaman. I don't even know if I'm gonna show up for Aquaman, but we'll go see Into the Spider-Verse. I'll definitely cover. So that was all. Make sure you are subscribed and rating and doing everything you're supposed to do. I am Cherry, and this was the Negro Justice League.